I'm also grateful to introduce you and welcome you to the KVIFF Talents presentation, proudly presented as part of the Karlovy Vary International Film Festival. My name is Alyssa Dillard, and I'm going to be your host and moderator for this beautiful program. So, thank you. So some of you are familiar with KVIFF Talents, but some of you are new. So for the new people here, I would love to tell you that KVIFF Talents is dedicated to supporting bold and dynamic approaches in cinema and other audiovisual works in the Czech Republic and Slovakia. Its pilot launch was in 2022, and since then, 23 creative teams have participated. There are two pools. So there's the feature pool, which is tailored for feature-length fiction films and the concept stage, and the creative pool, which supports audiovisual projects of any format and genre. So it can include films, short films, TV series, music videos, game concepts, and much more. The program welcomes creators without any age or career restrictions and is open to both creative teams and individual screenwriters. This year, 4 of the projects are also eligible for the Euromage Award, and we would like to welcome the Euromage jury here with us today. So, to continue, for the partners of our project, we would like to thank our partners without whom this project would not be possible. So they are the Czech Foundation, Matony, OnePlay, Prima Plus, Regional Innovation Center of the Karlovy Vary region, and our media partner is Forbes. Yeah. Yes! Shout out our partners. And thank you. We also welcome the representative of the partners that are present in the room with us today. So we can have another little snap clap. Yes? So I'm sure you're going to love all of these projects as much as I do. And if you want to meet them later today, you can for one-on-one meetings. The meetings will take place in Carlsbad Plaza Hotel today from 5:30 to 7 p.m. The reservation system is closed, unfortunately, but if you're interested, don't be shy, because just let us know and we will help you arrange the meetings, because we want to make sure that you see the people that you want to see. And don't forget that you can also join us afterwards right under this stage here for a reception and drink. So also join us there. Yes! Yes, no, I love it. Just to make everyone feel okay, I 1000% broke a glass in front of people earlier today, and I thought I lost my headphones. So it's just that vibe right now, you know? We'll own it. Okay, so we're gonna continue. KVIFF Talents 2026. This year, from over 100 submitted projects, we selected 6, 3 fiction film concepts, 1 feature-long animation, and 2 series concepts. For each presented project, we've prepared a visual AV spot for you, and the first part introduces the previous work of the authors, and the second part is dedicated to references to the presented project. But this year we have something special. Before we begin presenting the projects selected for this year's KVIFF Talents, we'd like to share a small update. One of the projects from the very first edition of KVIFF Talents has now completed the majority of its shooting, and we're delighted to be able to show you its teaser. The project is Luigi, the feature debut of director Eliška Kovaříková. The film was shot entirely in Sardinia with an international cast, and we're truly delighted to see the project reach this stage of production. So I can't wait to introduce the teaser of Luigi.
Every summer, thousands of tourists flock to Sardinia's Supramante Mountains to see Goropu Canyon.
€5? Goropo. 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 Okay, screw this. Fuck you, piece of shit!
And drive the locals crazy.
The only way to get inside of the canyon is with a guide.
My name's Bob, and I'm a native English speaker.
Unfortunately, very much old man got stuck on the canyon.
Very many old people, get stuck in the canyon.
That's what I said.
Rise up high, I'ma touch the sky.
Do you think Fernie will manage in the canyon?
Rise up high, I'ma touch the sky. I'ma touch.
No. We are not a funeral service.
He's acting like this because he doesn't want to go there.
Vipère. Maudite vipère.
I'ma touch the sky.
My name is Tadia Ashmael. Me and my very strong grandmother want to go into the canyon.
I'ma touch the sky. I got
Hai sentito?
drive. Yeah, I'm gonna
Sì.
fly.
New kid, please move around.
Yeah, I'm gonna fly.
Are you looking for a guide?
Yes.
I have a special accreditation for working with problematic tourists.
Well, that sounds great. Oh, I didn't catch your name.
Luigi.
A bunch of strangers, one path,
The most magnificent view.
Okay, lunch break.
and maybe love.
Farewell, my love. I'm gone.
Luigi. He did mention that he'd been in prison.
Αλίσκησε, όσο κικέριο scetti che tu studiasa.
Scusa, faremo una cosa. Come ti serve per raccontare in macchina, sa? Dopo su trekking, in borsa, internet, e calcio, tutto ciò che ho fatto.
Are you a guide?
Tu veux de l'argent pour être monté dans notre voiture?
I still recall how we were.
What else would I be?
And that's
Of course I'm a guide.
till we meet again.
So, to continue on, this year we're going to do another thing a bit differently. We're mixing our feature pool and creative pools. We like to spice it up at KVIFF Talents. So, without further ado, I would love to invite our first two projects to the stage, which would be the project of Exposed and Burning Witches. So, our first project we will start with is Exposed.
So, Project Exposed is sort of continuation of Klara's previous film, a documentary, I'm Not Everything I Want to Be, which tells the story of the Czech photographer Libuše Jarcoviáková. You just had a chance to see some of the black and white images that were used in the film. Klára, in fact, worked with 3,000 still images and sound design and voiceover in the documentary. And by doing so, she managed to shape the story in such an immersive way, let's say, that the film premiered at Berlinale and was then selected to more than 130 festivals around the world. And then also became Czech official submission for the Oscars. So it happened for the first time that a documentary represented Czech cinema in the Oscar race. I just want to mention this to support that Klára is skilled storyteller even when she works with minimalist tools. We made 3 films before. This will be our fourth collaboration where Klára steps from the field of creative documentary into fiction film. Because I believe that some stories are meant to be told as documentaries, some require, for example, animation film tools, and this story requires fiction film genre, let's say, because fiction allows us to tell this story in a specific way, and that's something we want to explore in Exposed.
So, when I was working on a project about the photographer Libuše Jarcoviáková, I found that a large part of her story is somehow connected with the Tea Club, a queer club that existed in communist Prague in the 90s. The club was semi-legal and was the only place where both girls and boys could gather together. There were only 2 such a club in Prague, and both was constantly under or watched by secret police. Being queer was not illegal, but queer people faced violence and some discrimination. The Tea Club was a vital safe space for them. The main character is Laura. She's 21 years old and she's inspired by the real photographer Libuše Jarcoviáková. Laura's stories unfold over 24 hours in which she takes a series of photographs and discovers strange things like hand in sand, probably belong to dead body. She tries to make sense of what happened. I like to frame my film as sort of psychological or political thriller based on my documentary research on real events that happen in the queer community in communist Czechoslovakia. So we have everything that the proper thriller needs, like crime, a dead body, photographic evidence, secret police, danger, and tension. These ingredients are helping me to tell a story of doubting one's own perception of reality. My core question is, who defines reality? Sorry, I'm quite nervous. I hate this presentation, so I'm happy to be here and I will continue. So the only one who believes Laura is her girlfriend Eva, who works as a fashion model. So we also have a love story and femme fatale in our movie.
Great, you're doing great. So, in the second half of the story, various strangers start hunting Laura because they need her photographs, they need her negatives. The problem is that on those pictures are people who were in the Tea Club on the previous night. And those pictures can expose, literally, their identities. And for some of those people, it's a question of life and death. They don't want to be associated with the queer community because Klára mentioned it was a reason to harass them. So Laura finds herself under constant pressure, never fully understanding where this pressure is coming from. There is this question, is it all orchestrated by the secret police to create this situation where the whole community should be afraid, to create this sense of uncertainty within the whole community? So working with Laura's subjective point of view, her vision, her feelings, and the overall atmosphere of paranoia are the key elements of the project.
Yes, and at the end, because the simple existence of Laura's negatives become a huge problem for the whole community, she's not allowed to enter the tea club anymore. Therefore, she loses her chosen family and is left alone on the street in front of club.
So aside of the story and of the genre that Klára described as psychological or political thriller, I also like to think about this project as a sort of essay on subjectivity of human perception. We work with the protagonist who is a photographer. So there is this question, what the camera, what the apparatus can actually reveal about reality. We want to play with this form, with the materiality of the film stock, with the grain, with blow-ups, disappearing, appearing images. So it should be, in this I see like a relevant question even today. Can we actually believe what we see on the photographs? Is this even real, what we see on the photos? Right now we have a treatment. We work, like we have a new member of the team, a female script writer, Objevte Gertli, who will work on the first draft of the script. We have support, development support from Czech Audiovisual Fund. This project has been part of our media development slate, which we got. So that's basically where we are at right now. And we would like to find script consultants, mainly. We would like to talk to German co-producers because part of the story has a natural German element. There is a German character in the story who brings a hashish from Berlin. And the dead body could be also a German actor. So I'm happy to speak with German co-producers. And I would also like to speak with a sales agent, even at this stage, and evaluate the international potential of the film.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. I really love the international appeal. You're like, we could also have German dead body. But I'm also curious because, and forgive me, I might not say it correctly, Libuše, and the last name I struggle. Will you say it one more time for the woman who's...
Jarcobiáková.
Jarcobiáková. Libuše Jarcobiáková. Yes, okay, přesně tak. So what happened to her after these events?
Yeah, I think she stopped takes photos in the club, and she tried to find like fake husband and moved to Berlin after she married him. So yeah, she escaped.
She escaped, but then she never came back to...
Yeah, she came back after revolution in 90s.
And was she able to show her photographs anywhere afterwards?
Afterwards, yes.
Oh, okay. So there's a positive return, but there's focusing on this very specific moment. It's a great topic because now there's so many conversations around queerness and belonging and queer spaces and how you fit and the safety that comes from community and the danger that happens when you lose it. But nobody is able to hold a mirror up to it from this particular period of time that so many of us don't know anything about. So it's a great space to hold as a project.
Yeah, for me it's very important because it's part of Czech queer history, and we was thinking about female queer films, and I think in Czech Republic is not a single film about queer, female queer film characters. So, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, time to take up the space and fill the gaps. And I think it's very beautiful.
I don't know what to add, actually.
like, I have one last question actually, like about because you talked a bit about the documentary and as it's like a root of the project, but could you just elaborate on it a little bit more? Because we saw some of the images inside, but could you just tell us a bit more about it?
Yeah, it actually, it's the main visual reference. Libuše, there was this deal between the photographer, real-life photographer, Libuše Jarcoviáková, and the people in the tea club. She promised them, or she always worked with the flash, so that the others could see every time when she took a photo. And if somebody didn't like it, they could approach her and tell her, okay, I don't want to be on that photo. So that's something we want to use also in our film, this flashy, trashy aesthetics with the frontal light, this black and white grain, high contrast, and so on. So this all comes from the inspiration from the documentary that we made.
Oh, great. And also, I think we really need this topic now because the photos with no consent are getting out of control. It's like a huge topic with social media now and like agency and images and the danger of when the image is captured without consent. So this is a cool thing to...
Exactly. And do the photographs prove something actually do they prove that something actually happened? Nowadays, it's problematic.
Yeah, for me, I usually just take pictures of dogs and wait for my phone to make an album, but
yeah, we have a dog here.
Yeah, I took a picture of that dog without consent. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, that could be a problem.
So you've actually wow, I've really been clocked, and now I also, thanks to your project, I'm gonna think about agency and photographs a little bit more as well. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
So now we will continue. I really like this duo because we have the concept of exposing, and then we go to burning witches.
Okay. Hi, my name is Martina Babishova. I'm a writer and an actress.
Hi, I'm Vera Starečková and I'm a writer.
So, you wouldn't want to live in the 17th century, trust me. Wars, terrible epidemics, religious oppressions, mini climate change, crazy costs of living. You wouldn't want to live in times when it's so easy for people in power to shift blame for all bad things happening from themselves onto people who are somehow different. You wouldn't want to live in times when it's so easy to turn public dissatisfaction into hatred between people. Oh, wait a moment. It's still a thing. It's a mechanism that keeps repeating throughout history. And so in our series, we put problems of nowadays into the past to create distance so we can see them more clearly and also with a comedic relief. So our TV series is comedic satire.
Thank you. The village in our story is located on the Czech-Polish border. It's a very tiny village. It's crumbling. It's basically just one muddy square, just like in the series 1670. And everyone knows everyone, just like in Gilmore Girls. And here in this village live our three main heroines. We have Anička. She sincerely believes that men are better than women at everything, including giving birth, and she isn't able to say the word no. Then we have healer Lada, and she's so smart and so capable that it makes her very suspicious. And our third main character is Katushe, noble woman who believes she's the chosen one to save her village, the people around her. She's very positive, but she often forgets that the people around her can't read and they are starving to death. And her husband, Hvězdoň, is our very important male character we have as well. And he is the husband, he is the nobleman, and he has a crisis of masculinity because he's torn between his very strict dad, who wants him to be this strong, cruel ruler who is burning women, and his beloved wife, Katushe, who wants him to set women free.
So our story begins when noblewoman Katushe returns from abroad with modern ideas on how to save her dying estate. But she clashes with her ruling father-in-law, Spytihněv, who has a much better plan for this crisis. He turns a revolt of starving villagers into the battle of the sexes. So disobedient women are called witches and they are sent to the stake. Among the first ones is Katushe's sister, healer and midwife Lada. And so we are following Katushe trying to save her sister and also emancipate people around her, including her beloved husband Hvězdoň. But of course, she ends up at the stake as a witch herself. Luckily, her courage lights the spark of unexpected uprising, and men and women finally come to see through Spytihněv's lies, and instead of turning against each other, they join forces and they burn down the system that has been devouring them. So, at its heart, our series is a celebration of the power of women, the magic of female friendship, and also it's a story of men and women joining forces in the world that is trying to divide them.
Our series has 7 episodes of 25 minutes, and right now we are looking for script consultants, broadcasters, and co-producers. And we would be very happy to talk to you after the pitch. And our lovely producer, Dagmar Sedláčková, is here as well, so you can also talk to her. And thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Dagmar, can you put your hand up? Where are you? Oh, hi. Yeah. Oh, wow. Yes. You may hear from her again one day. You'll see. Okay, you can bring the lights back on us now. It's okay.
It was very dramatic.
No, it was great. That was really cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was amazing. Just so that in case you were looking, I know it's so many people here, it's great to point out the person. So it's like, okay, the producer is here. Where are they? And thank you for sharing. I love that these two projects are really looking at the past, but also looking at the future. And I'm trying to imagine the concept of, do you try to save the village by practical means or battle of the sexes? It's a duality that sometimes the battle of the sexes marketing works in one way that's easy, but the other route is always the most challenging and difficult. And I wanted to ask you a bit about the humor, because it's a dark comedy. So how do you find these like humorous moments, or I'm imagining also lots of ironic moments as well in the project?
I mean, we are still Czech, and I think there's a big sense of irony in us. And so we're using a lot of irony. For example, we have this sequence there when a group of women is put in a prison, but they ended up having much better time than at home because finally they have time for themselves. So yeah, we are using a lot of irony. I would like to also add that we are making fun out of the system, not of the victims. Mm-hmm. And that there will be moments that are also sad and touching.
Nice. I really love this concept of going to prison and then being like, actually, you know what?
Somebody cooks for you.
Yeah, somebody cooks for you. I wonder if I'm imagining if someone's like, honestly, when I'm out, I might just commit another crime to go back. That's something that I think, like, I can imagine it in my head very vividly, so I can't wait to see it in real.
To talk to time with other women, you know?
Yeah, just chill, just hang out, like a sleepover where I don't have to do anything. And so I'm of course living in Prague, but I'm a foreigner, I'm an international person, and I find this project really interesting, but I'm wondering, because of the fact that it's based on like a Czech story, like television project, but there's so many different regions in Czech Republic, are you thinking of reaching out to other countries adjacent to Czech Republic, or would you like to have a wider international appeal as well?
As I said, the story takes place in a region of Czech-Polish border, and in the 17th century there used to live a lot of Polish people, Czech people, but also Germans, Swedes, and Slovaks. So we believe that it can also be a co-production of those countries. Mm-hmm. That would be amazing. And also we believe that since everyone knows about witches, and a lot of people love witches, and everyone has heard about witch hunts, so we believe that even internationally, outside of the Central Europe area, it could be a fun show to watch and, interesting, I hope.
Yeah. I'm also a fan of witches, so I understand. My favorite movie as a kid was Practical Magic, so. And I liked your reference with the Gilmore Girls as well. I'm imagining like a 17th century Stars Hollow. My brain's already taking me to many places, so I'm sure you'll find something that you need from these beautiful people here today. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
And a thank you again to both of our projects, Exposed and Burning Witches. Thank you. So now we will continue with our next two projects, Nera and the Inhalatorium. And for this section, we will start with Nera.
Hey, hi, so great to be here. So our film is essentially a love story between a human being and a dog. And it is a story about an 18-year-old Teresa who has just graduated high school and has the world at her feet until a tiny spot appears in her field of vision. And after many doctors' examinations, she receives her diagnosis. She is in fact going blind. And this, of course, throws her into a state of great despair and depression. And fortunately, she is saved from this state by Nera, her guide dog whose sole purpose in life is to keep her safe. But Teresa quickly realizes that the freedom that she is gaining back thanks to Nera is in fact also a freedom that she is taking away from her. Because in order to do her job properly, Nera, as a guide dog, has been trained to suppress her natural instincts and has a strict routine divided into work mode and then free time during which she can behave like any other dog. And Teresa, who's been such a free spirit her whole life, suddenly feels that Nera isn't living the life that she could be living as a dog. And so she decides to liberate Nera, trying to loosen some of the strict rules of their training and also just trying to downsize the amount of work that she needs from her. But because of this, Nera sometimes stops listening to Teresa's commands. And so Teresa must choose. Either she will accept the system that treats Nera as a working tool, or she will disrupt this dynamic, but that means risking the safety of them both.
So hello from my side as well. One of the first lessons that I had to learn as a child was that I shouldn't stick my fingers into our dog's nostrils, and I think that kind of laid a foundation for my interest in human-dog relationships. And a few years ago, when I decided to adopt a dog, I did kind of expect a friendship, but I think Lottie, my dog, is more a love of my life. She really inspires me a lot and makes me rethink the world around me. For example, when we were walking on around our block and started encountering a blind woman with her guide dog, and Lottie was very eager to kind of greet the dog, I realized I actually don't know what a protocol it is, if that's okay or not. So I also realized I know nothing about blindness. So I started Googling things around that, and this is how the story, the idea for the story was born. And basically this intimacy that a dog and a human can share is something that we'd really like to capture between Teresa and Nera. Because only when they're alone they can actually forget about the difficulties of blindness and also the strict regime of the training. This is also the reason why, even though Teresa's a city girl, later in the film they keep retreating to the countryside a lot. When me and Lottie go to the forest, Lottie really becomes an animal there. Otherwise, she's a city dog, a very cute one. And it happens the same with Nera. And Teresa just loves so much seeing her dog run free, deciding where the dog wants to go herself, just following Nera, and leaving the leash and the blind stick at home. Also just kind of helps her feel everything is okay. And then there's another level where they meet, and that's actually a dream world. That's because dreams are the only place where visually impaired continue to see. And as every dog owner knows, dogs dream too, quite vividly actually. And so Teresa dreams of the world that she has lost. And when she starts to think what could be Nera dreaming of, the answer seems undeniably clear to her. It must be her own freedom. And so apart from this dilemma of having your own freedom on, based on somebody else's obedience, we're really much interested in this psychological projection, because for Teresa, this duality of Nera's life, split into working mode and off time, reminds her of the duality of her own life, the life that she now has to live as a blind person, and the life that, the normal life that she had before, that was full of options and possibilities and her own choices. And because this life was taken away from her and there's nothing she can do to get it back, she wants to grant this freedom to at least one of them. This story could be told in a conventional, realistic way, but this is not our aim. We'd like the film language to be based on the sensory experience of blind people, meaning we'll be playing a lot with kind of this atmospherical, impressionistic style, rich in blurs, textures, and tactility, as sound as the main source of the information. And in contrast to that, the dream sequences will be shot in this wide, airy, sharp shots, allowing the viewer to kind of breathe in and also live this illusion of freedom that Teresa is dreaming of.
And so with our previous short film, The Animal Remains, we've already explored how dogs make us more human. And with Nera, we continue this exploration, but this time we are focusing also on how disability and work reshape this relationship. And currently we are writing the first draft of the script. We have just received funding for that from the Audiovisual State Fund, so that's super great. And we have our amazing producer, Dagmar Sedlačková, as well as our Slovenian co-producers, Andra Žirić and Jerca Jirić from Temporama. Currently at this stage, we are looking for script development, script consultants, other sorts of development funding, or also other co-producers. But in general, we'd love to meet with anybody who is interested in this project and who'd like to take on this journey with us. Thank you.
Thank you. So it's really, I also have a dog. I just need to let people know. So I wanted to join in, a very small one. And shout out to our dog in the audience. Thank you for coming to represent for the dogs. Thank you. But with this concept, like there's so many interesting aspects, and my first question is kind of like, you talked about your approach for the aesthetics and stylization of the film, which all sound very haptic. And I'm assuming because you want to work with the sounds and textures, you're also looking for sound support as well, like throughout the process?
Yes, definitely. The sound, did you ask about the sound?
Yes.
Yes, so we will need a very badass sound designer, that's for sure true. But actually from the start, we've been in contact with the blind community here in Prague via Okamžik Center, which is also a center where I volunteer. This is also where we try to talk to as many people as possible. We're doing research, really trying to understand how this perceiving of the world really works. And then I think, because of course we are not blind, we do not have this experience, but we've been told that the people from the blind community very often in films feel badly represented, because they feel that in each film basically the blind person is kind of like touching the face of the other, and that this is actually not how it works. So we would really like to make sure that this representation will be the one that they would agree to, and kind of that it would make sense for them. Which also kind of reminds me that once the film is finished, we would like to release the film also with the audio track for the visually impaired community, because we really don't want to just speak about the blind community the way we want to, but kind of include them in the project. This is something that's very important to us, and that's why the badass sound designer is a necessary thing. So if there's one, please do talk to us.
Yes. And are you looking for a specific like actor who is blind, or for blind consultants for the film as well?
For now, that's still a question because in these dream sequences and also in the beginning of the film, Teresa still sees. So this is something that we'll have to, still figure out. But we will shoot kind of like a proof of concept next year, where we would like to try collaborating with a blind person. Now we're in contact with the high school for blind people in Prague, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Very beautiful project with a great connection to the community as well. So now we will continue with the inhalatorium.
Hi, I'm Bara Anna, director, scriptwriter, and visual artist behind the project. I have recently finished my last movie, 9 Million Colors, which you can see here at KVIFF as well. And now I thought that it's time to actually start working on a feature film. It's going to be about 96 minutes, coming-of-age mystery for the audience of 12+. It's actually based on my own story because when I was a child, a little girl, I used to go to the sanatorium almost every winter, to the mountains to heal my asthma. And I remember as a kid, there's a lot of things that you don't really understand. The strict rules, the very odd baths and another procedure that you need to go through, the silence, the saunas. As a kid, I always thought there is something strange. Not necessarily dangerous, but just very hard to explain. Surrounding those sanatoriums is a landscape shaded by mist, by glassworks, forgotten villages, and a very odd, mysterious creature. I'm taking an inspiration in our mountains that are in the close neighborhoods to our, hopefully, co-producers in Poland and Germany, because we share a history and also a legend. In my movie, I want to dive deep into the Central European folklore, specifically Rieberzoll, or in German, Rubensaul. In old folk tales, it used to be some sort of a devil, but in my movie, I want him to be sort of a representation of the power of transformation. I want him to represent the power of turning something bad, the horrible deeds the humankind did, into the source of strength, into his own powers, because he's turning those horrible crimes that happen in the mountains into his own crystal kingdom. The story is set in the sanatorium, and we are following the 13-year-old girl named Mara, who is coming to the sanatorium to heal her asthma. She's a typical teenager, she doesn't want to be there, and she's really missing her friends in the city. But soon she's going to meet another friends. They all have different reasons why they are coming to the sanatorium. Mara is coming there to heal her asthma. Then she meets another friend called Helena, who has a diabetes, and she believes that everything can be prevented if you are in control. She meets the girl Mariana, who suffers from epilepsy, and through her seizures she can see through the realm of normality. She meets Emmanuel, the boy with the skin condition, who developed a humor as his armor, because outside the kids always made fun of him. And Joachim, the fragile kid with the heart condition, who really wants to believe that the world is just a little bit more stranger than it actually is. Those kids, outside of the sanatoriums, they don't really belong, but inside, for the first time ever, they find somebody who understands them, and they become a group. And for the first time, they have a feeling like they belong. What began, right? What began?
Began.
I'm losing my English.
What began as a...
What began as an uncomfortable stay gradually turns into an adventure. They are pranking the system, they are doing the teenage stuff, they are playing dangerous games. But everything changes one day after a visit to a nearby glasswork. I just want to incorporate as much of a Czech bohemian crystal in the movie as possible. I will talk about it a little bit later. In the glasswork, they hear an old legend about the first glassmaker ever. He used to be a miner who fell through a crack and fall into the crystal kingdom. He liked it there so much because it was so beautiful. But someone, the rebirth soul, chased him away. And he spent the rest of his life trying to mimic the beauty he saw. Sorry, I just need to sip water.
Take your time.
I'm having a slight cough, which I think it's ironic that I'm writing this movie, so sorry about taking the breaks. Joachim really loves the story about the old mountain spirit, about rebirth soul, but the other kids are skeptical. They don't really want to believe him. But Mara, eager to impress her new friends, she pushes him into a dangerous challenge. And the next day, Joachim disappears. She's ridden by guilt and haunted by the facts, and she's unable to accept the truth. She tries to convince herself and the other kids as well that the rebirth soul is the one who took him. And they form this sort of detective truth. And they start to uncover the connection in between the sanatorium, the landscape, and the stories that adults don't really want to be talking about. As the reality slowly starts to fracture, Mara is confronted with the questions she has always tried to ignore. On the surface, Inhalatorium is a story about a missing boy and the monster. But inside, it's a story about growing up, about the moments when the childhood certainty begins to crack. Overall, Mara's journey is not about overcoming her illness, it is about understanding that it does not define her. Regarding the style of the film, in my previous works, I adopted the style that my script editor calls cutal. It's the combination of cute and brutal. And I really... So nice, I will tell him you guys clapped. He's going to be so happy. It's a combination of playfulness, a little bit of brutality, and dealing with deep questions, but with the sort of lightness. Visually, I want the camera to follow the kids from the kids' perspective, which means that we are going to be seeing adults only from the neck down, like in old Tom and Jerry. With the puppets, I want to create a very tactile experience. And I want to show the close-up of the skin and use a lot of mist and play with the lights. I want to slowly distort the reality and to kind of create the world that would feel more like a state of mind than a factual space. At the moment, we are in the early development, but we received the funding from the Czech Audiovisual Fund. And we presented the project at MIFA in Annecy 2 weeks ago. Now we are here, and we also got accepted to the midpoint focus. Sorry. At the moment, we are eager to look for the co-producers because I understand that my topic is kind of hard, especially dealing with the illness, and I would like to have an international co-writer. I'm in the middle of doing my research where I'm visiting the sanatorium, and I would like to talk to as many kids as possible to get their point of view on the subject as well. And what else we are looking for? I'm looking at my producer who is sitting in there as well. We haven't pointed at him. His name is Jakub Prálek.
Hello. But I actually have some questions as well.
Yes.
Because I'm just a bit curious, because you talk a lot about the beauty of this region and the things inside of it, which is, I think, very beautiful. And there's something specific that you said about, I want to incorporate as much Czech glass and crystal as possible. But a little bird told me something about how you want to also incorporate this into the elements that you will use in the animation process.
Yes, for me glass is very fascinating and the whole history of it as well. And as you know, Czech is very well known for the Bohemian crystal. I have already visited major Czech glassworks, Preciosa, Rukl and Boma. And I want to work with the glass in the movie because it has the ability to distort the source of the lights in an amazing way. And also I would like to try to make the old mountain spirit, the rebirth soul, the part of him at least, in the glass as well. It's something that not a lot of people tried in the animation because it's a bit of insanity trying to work with the glass. But I do like some challenge for myself.
It will fit with the Cutal style.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and for the international audience, I would just like to point out, because I think some people are a bit unsure about this Czech health spa culture, because if you are in Karlovy Vary going to the sauna or the pool or thermal, it's like one experience, but there's a medical aspect where you can get a prescription and then they take you to this place. I have been once for an appointment. It was like a very metallic, very sanitary medical experience, and it was like me in a hot tub with an old woman looking at me, and the tub was like made of metal. And I was like, wow, I didn't know that this aspect of it. But I think what you're saying about the main character and being 13 and not being able to understand this part of and come up with the logic and magic inside of this is also the clash of the medical healing aspect of the health spa experience, but not necessarily the kind of visiting holiday type of the medical spa experience.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like you're going to the wellness center like most of us do for the relaxation. It's something completely different. Mm-hmm. But for me, the film is mostly about friendship, about growing up, about understanding that illness does not need to define her, but rather it can become the source of your own strength as well.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And thank you again to our two projects, Neta and Inhalatorium. Wait. Okay, our next group is super hyped, so I gotta call them up really fast. And these projects are great, so please welcome Until We Leave and K-Pop Dreams. Or K-Dreams, sorry, K-Dreams. And our first project will be Until We Leave.
So hello everybody. Until We Leave is a feature film about 4 women in their 30s who are traveling to Britain to see their close friend. And what begins as a reunion slowly becomes a confrontation with their lives, the choices they've made, and the fear of changing them. And a few years ago, one of my closest friends called me and told me she had stage 4 cancer. And a few months later, me and my girlfriends went to France to see her. And I knew that this journey would be difficult, not only because of my friend, but also because I would have to confront something in myself. And although one of these women is terminally ill, this is not a film about dying. It's more about what happens when someone else's limited time changes the way you look at your own. And I think maybe joy isn't something we find when life is easy, but maybe joy is something we have to choose when life is still uncertain. And I personally think that fear isn't a choice, but life is, joy is.
Hello, everyone. This is our first cooperation together with Lucia, and the reason why I decided to produce this project is simple. Because when Lucia told me this story, I couldn't stop thinking about that, and the next day I texted her, like, hey, you should write this screenplay and we should do this film together. And I'm fascinated with 2 layers of the film. It's like an observation of women's friendship, how supportive we can be, but at the same time, how competitive and envious we can become very easily. And second layer is how an unexpected event can force every woman to confront her life.
And each woman in this film represents a different way of dealing with fear. No, I'm not gonna tell you which one is me. You can guess and tell me in the drink. So Emma is a people pleaser who has forgotten what she wants. Lena is the perfectionist who believes control can protect her. Then there is Clara, who keeps herself constantly busy because silence is dangerous. Anna is hiding behind the humor because honesty feels riskier. And Marion is the only one who no longer has the luxury of pretending she has time.
The entire story is set in Brittany, but Brittany is not just a location. One moment the women are drinking tea around a sunlit garden table, and the second one they are standing on the cliffs above the endless ocean. And as the landscape shifts between warmth and wildness, as the women move between joy, grief, and hope. Yes, we care. We really care that this film is inspired by a real story and real people and real friendship. And that's why it's really important for us to tell the story with sensitivity and most importantly with respect.
Yeah, and I'm a writer, but I'm also an actress, and I think that deeply influences the way I write. I think acting taught me how scenes are built more on human behavior rather than plot. I think that silence can say sometimes more than dialogue, and then people are hiding emotions behind words. So, yeah, this is how I work. It's very emotional and very, very chaotic. Yeah. So. You want to add?
Yes, and I make sure that it eventually becomes a film one day. And I put order to this chaos.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yes, that we are looking for a female director and because we believe that another female voice can bring intimacy, and this is what the film really needs. Oh yes, of course, and that's why we are here. We are looking for co-producers, distributors, sales agents to join us at this early stage, and Lucia is right now about to write a screenplay, which was also supported by the Czech Audiovisual Fund.
Thank you. So I really one thing I have to say, a couple of things, like observations. One, I love that you're an actress and you're like, I, as an actress, really value the concept of silence, and there don't always need to be lines. I feel sometimes people assume that when actors are involved in projects, they're like, more lines for the actors. Give them more stuff, let's add many actors. But I love that you have this duality and you're able to balance those two processes and the understanding of what you see as an actor and how you take that experience and translate it for the screen, which is really cool. And again, I feel like somehow on this side, I'm always like relating, I had a dog, but also, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a woman in her 30s. I know, surprise. But I think it's really interesting to have a journey film that's focused on this particular age range of womanhood, because a lot of times everyone focuses on your 20s as a woman and then what happens after you're a mother. But there's this gap in between for women between like 29 plus, where they're like, you're either 27 or you're like 45, but what happens to life in the middle? And I think it's a lot of this. It's a lot of coming to terms with the potential, or what you feel is lost potential, or what you want to do, or what you could be. And it's such an interesting moment in time. And to create a film that highlights this, when I think a lot of times you don't see so many projects from this perspective.
That's why I got this idea with the girls when we were on a trip, and each of us is completely different, but somehow it works as a friendship. And each of us was in a different stage of life. One wanted a babies but couldn't. One didn't want a babies at all. One was looking for something deep in her relationship what was no longer there. One was without a man. You know, it was. We are all around 30, but we are having completely different lives. Sometimes we are jealous of each other's lives, sometimes not at all. Sometimes we are judging. That's what we can do very well. But yeah, I didn't see many films about the women in this age, and I want to make this film for them, but also for everyone who has this fear sometimes of change, of going forward, of stepping outside of your comfort zone. And I think to be brave sometimes, because the first steps, you sometimes have to do it when you still don't feel ready. And I think this is all about it.
Yeah, there's something very uncomfortable about being an adult and growing and living. It's hard, and to tackle that from this topic with such a beautiful story of friendship and journey is really beautiful to hear. Thank you so much for sharing. So now we will continue with K-Dream.
You've been choking me, taking all of me, make me the enemy, feels like ecstasy, yeah. You've been choking me, taking all of me, make mercy. You'll be the enemy if we come back together. You making love to me like I don't really matter. Been trying to make you mine and make you better, but you took control and left me shattered. Stabbed me, left me ice cold. You hunt me like an animal. Stabbed me, left me ice cold. You hunt me like an animal. Ice cold. Like an animal. Ice cold. Like an animal.
So it all starts with a song. It is an original song that I wrote a couple years ago with this project in mind, and music for a project it's not just a backdrop. It is a foundation, and K-Dream starts where all our boys start, with the song, and the song is a ticket for them to a place where they could finally be someone. It is truly a personal story to me because I grew up in the business. I came up in the business when I was 15 years old, and I know what it is when you're a kid in the world of adults, and you get into situations where you really sometimes don't know how to say no. I know that much attention is something that has an effect on your physical state and your mental health, and we really I think all of our main three characters, they have a little part of me in them. We start with a young Ukrainian soldier who's running away from the draft, and he's running away to a karaoke bar because he wants to follow his passion for music. We have a young Polish nationalist who's hiding his passion for K-pop from his peers, and we have a young German kid from an immigrant background who's hiding the fact that he likes K-pop and he likes to dance and put on a makeup, and the question is, when they get to this casting for the K-pop band, are they truly running away from are they getting to a place of freedom, or are they actually getting to a place that's even darker, at the place they originally came from? I'm gonna cut to Adam.
Hey. Hey guys, we went to South Korea with Adam to present our movie Banger, and we were kind of surprised how the Korean society works. You know, it was like COVID was like over, but they still like follow the rules, and when it was like optional, and we were like, should we also follow the rules? But what's the point? You know, it's like over, and I think it's like quite natural for us, like Europeans, to ask these questions, because we are like putting myself on a first place, you know, like, am I happy? I want to work only 4 days a week from home. But the questions in South Korea is kind of different. It's like, how do I fit to the society? How do I benefit to the society? Do I bring honor or shame? And I think our European boy band is kind of, it's kind of metaphor for European Union, you know, like there's like lots of languages, lots of different cultures, and we should like behave like one unit. But is it like possible? And the question is, for our dramatic question is it like possible for our European boy band? It's like, can be built on a K-pop philosophy, which is kind of hardcore from European society, for European point of view. So, yeah. Money.
So what starts as a young adult drama turns sorry, what I should do? I never had it in my hand.
Just put it like this so we can hear you.
Yeah.
Like this one?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Ah, nice. I have this in my hand for my first time, sorry. So what starts as a young adult drama turns into the whodunit thriller. We aim to create 6 to 8 episodes, each around 50 minutes, all in English, so we would fit into the international market. Currently we are assembling writer's room, so if you probably know some excellent writer who knows Korean culture or K-pop, please meet us for a drink after this meeting. And we are looking for co-producers, international co-producers. We are looking for co-writers, some international co-writers who have experience with miniseries, and broadcasters. So if you are here or if you know someone, please meet us.
Yeah, I think, this project means so much to all of us, and I think all of us sitting here, we're all filmmakers, and the thing that unifies us is that we have dreams and stories we want to tell and share, and that's exactly what all these boys in this project, want to do. They want to chase after something, their dreams, their goals, but it's what are they willing to go through and what are they willing to endure to get there. And K in K-Dream doesn't just stand for Korean, it also stands for every kid that has a goal, some ambitions, what they want to do with their life, and that's also us. And I just want to thank Karlovy for letting us be here, talk about this project, and we're kicking everything off here. So, K-Dream!
Oh yeah, it's like or what is that? This one, like this, like Korean hearts, this. And it's interesting because I think a lot of people are familiar with the world of K-pop from the feminine perspective of like K-pop girl groups, but your project is actually focused on the more like male K-pop world and tackles the concepts of masculinity and something that, as Adam mentioned, like the contrast between European ideals and Korean ideals and the duality, and if it's possible to put all of those things together, because it is a completely different thought process and reality. And just for the other people in the audience, because I don't know if everyone's familiar with the world of K-pop, but could you just describe a little bit about the world of K-pop for the people here who might not be so familiar?
I mean, K-pop, I think what we're talking about in our story is, and I think I want to maybe elaborate on it, is just the way that those bands come up. They start super early. It's basically like a school, like almost like a military system where they really everything's lined up and it's coming up to a point where they perform for the first time and the jury decides are they gonna have their debut or not, and it's just really interesting because I think from the management standpoint they really get assigned those characters and everything's so perfect, the way that they're dancing, but the reality of coming up in that world is just it's really brutal, and but yeah, it ends with perfection. But what's the cost? That's our question.
Yeah, the perfection at what cost with this very intensive training period? Because some of these K-pop training camps take years. It's like people can be in them for 2, 3, 4, 5 years, and then, as you said, with the debut, there's a jury. Sometimes the public is able to vote or say, so you have a lot of outside perception.
And if I can add, and it's also like they can't really have public relationships and all that personal stuff that if you compare it to show business in let's say Europe or America, you don't really have that much confinement, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you so much for clarifying. I have one, this is just a personal question, to be completely honest, because there is one person who's connected to this K-pop world who speaks a lot about Europe and pop culture and really vocal about their experience, which is Slovak pop singer girl sensation Adela. Shout out to Adela. And would you be interested in putting her in this movie? This is my selfish, in this series, I'm sorry.
100%.
Can you please put Adela in this series? That's my personal question. And now on a more professional note, I would love to know a bit, because you, as you see, you're filling up our whole section over there, and you've got like a really great group. But how did you come together, the four of you?
It was actually a great story. So of course. So Monica and I have known each other for 12 years. I've known Adam a long time as well. And Adam and I were together just talking about a project. He's pitching it to me. I love it. I want to do it. I want to be a part of it. I'm in my mind, I'm like, I have to tell Monica about this project. We have to get on a call together. And then she goes to a Christmas party with these two guys. They're pitching her the same project. We're on a phone call like in January, and we're talking about the exact same project. So the way that we both came to it so naturally is, for me, a sign. And I've always really wanted to work with her. And so now we're all here, yeah.
Nice. And when they pitched you the project at the Christmas party, were they wearing the same color shirt again?
Always.
Always. You're like a power duo.
It's a uniform.
It wasn't planned. Like, I don't know.
No, but I love it. It's the perfect image here. It's really great. What a beautiful team and a great project. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But stay there, stay there. So I want to thank everyone for being here today with KVIFF Talents. And I would like to invite, we're going to take just a photo with everybody. So I would like to invite everyone who's participating with KVIFF Talents to the stage now. All of the teams, Inhalatorium, Nera, Burning Witches, Exposed. Yeah. Oh, I have. Oh.
I'm really.
Promiň, počkej.
Never mind. Just.
Promiň, počkej. Just 1 second.
Oh, hello. We are mastering the chaos. Hello,
Yes.
my name is Radka. I run the program, and the group photo will be definitely. But before, I just want to say thank you, everyone, for sharing. Thank you, Alisa. And I want to add that this presentation, this is just the first step, because KVIFF Talents is almost a year-round long program, and it consists of consultations, creative residency here in Karlovy Vary, workshops, shooting of the proofs of concept video, and none of this would be really possible without our partners. So once again, we would love to thank all of them for their partnership, supporting, and friendship. And part of the program is also a development grant, and we would like to hang the vouchers right now as a symbolic confirmation that the funding is on the way. So.
Wait, just hold on a second. First you get this. Slowly, we're giving you something. Ach,